Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rodan Gonzi on sign language, Dorothy Namiyomba. Let's take a look at the headlines. People still missing, 7 remain unclaimed in Chitezi landfill rescue mission. While NIRA extends validity of national identity cards by 1 year. Minister Mayanja orders investigations into Tabanamin's alleged land grabbing saga. President Yoweri Museveni, also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has commissioned 298 counter-terrorism warriors from Intake 7-23-24 and 58 graduates of special tactics who successfully completed 9 months of rigorous training. The President commended the graduates for enduring the challenging course, which required them to live simply with minimal resources while acquiring top-tier skills. He praised the UPDF for making the most of the limited resources available to create an effective force, urging all Ugandans to follow this example by utilizing available resources efficiently to achieve great results. The President also highlighted the progress made through the mastery of skills attained and cautioned the graduates about immense responsibility ahead.
You should be very happy that they have really pakopangaed you. That's how I've got these ones who have got Banyankole call it oboji. The panga is sharp enough, it can cut. So I want to congratulate you for going through this tough course, but also congratulate the instructors. On the issue of the infrastructure, I want to also congratulate the UPDF for knowing how to use the katono, akaliwo. The UPDF are not like the and NRA before, are not like some of the people. Oh, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this. So we can't start. Actually, I would like the media team, my press team, to capture those tents there behind where we passed. Show where the soldiers are staying, not in grofers, but they are able to use those improvised structures to produce good quality people. Therefore, this culture of we can't do this because we don't have this is not part of our system. And these people are a good example there. There is no infrastructure here. But they are produced very good quality people using humble infrastructure. So this one challenges all these other fellows. We want this, money, 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 money. So I thank you for that simple living that has enabled us to have a strong army with little resources. So I want to congratulate all of you for the clear-headedness. Yes, we need a good life, but good life will come from hard work.
I want to be very clear to you that gone are the days where intelligence was all about collecting information, processing it, and then disseminating intelligence for others to act. It is no reason they are calling you warriors. You cannot only be warriors and only keep on collecting information. You will collect information in either way, but in most cases, you'll be required to act like you have seen. This course at least shows you that naweza nikawaelezea haki, intelligence ya city, it is very important, but rest be assured that we expect you in the field to deliver what is expected of you.
I want to thank His Excellency the President for his efforts through this journey, long journey of professionalizing the Uganda People's Defense Forces. What we see today, the results of a peaceful country, our contribution to the region and to Africa as a whole, is testimony to his efforts and the efforts of the Army leadership towards a very positive direction.
Your Excellency, I'll just say three things. One, I want to thank you for your strategic vision and emphasis on the continuous training and professionalizing of the UPDF to create a strategic advantage and capability to meet changing security threats.
Now, the First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, and Eswatini's Queen Lamashwama have agreed on the urgent need for African governments to implement internet censorship policies to restrict information accessible to young people. They noted that children today access all sorts of inappropriate information online, which is detrimental to their lives. Often, parents are unaware of what their children are viewing. This was observed during the dialogue that the First Lady had with the Queen at State House in Entebbe.
Mrs. Museveni pointed out that some countries, including Arab nations, already have policies against undesirable internet content. She cautioned why African nations do not formulate similar policies. She expressed concern about her children giving mobile phones to her grandchildren and emphasized the need for vigilance despite modern technological advancements. Eswatini's Queen noted that in today's technological and social media era, it is challenging to find a teenager without a smartphone. Parents cannot effectively monitor what their children access. Besides social media, young people also use video games and web cameras, which can be misused to manipulate them. They also discussed the need for Africans to continue fighting against the stigmatization of LGBTQ and radical sexual rights, which has led some young people to undergo gender identity surgeries. They called for the protection of African culture and family values amidst emerging global threats. Mrs. Museveni shared information about her social initiatives, including Uganda Women's Effort to Save Orphans, founded in 1986 to support orphans and vulnerable children. The Uganda Youth Forum, which educates youth about HIV/AIDS, prevention through abstinence, faithfulness, and condom use. She also discussed her work in supporting rural women through the National Strategy for the Advancement of Rural Women in Uganda. Queen Meg acknowledged Eswatini's high HIV prevalence in the 1980s, 1990s, but noted that government efforts in educating the people have led to a significant reduction in new cases. She also spoke about the Imbeleko Foundation that she founded in 2019, which supports women's development through education and training. She expressed her passion for public health in Eswatini, focusing on how public health issues intersect with women's causes and youth advocacy. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
And NGOs fighting against excessive alcohol consumption under the umbrella of Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance have petitioned the Speaker of Parliament over the recent decision to reject the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill. During a press conference held in Kampala, the NGOs highlighted the dangers the country is likely to face without a law that regulates the consumption of alcohol. The chairperson of the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance expressed concern that members of parliament are focusing on garnering votes rather than considering the harmful effects of alcoholism, including domestic violence.
Tuesday, Parliament rejected the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill, which was tabled by Tororo Member of Parliament Sarah Opendi.
So, for me, I can only say that this 11th Parliament needs prayers, because we are not doing what we are supposed to be doing.
In response, the non-government organizations under the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance have petitioned the Speaker of Parliament appealing for the bill to be reconsidered and passed to mitigate the dangers associated with excessive alcohol consumption.
We move that you use your good office or offices as Speaker of Parliament to reach across all stakeholders, both in government and private sector, to ensure that Uganda Alcoholic Control Bill, in an even more improved shape, returns to the House and be considered for enactment.
We need to look at the protection of the young people. A study that was conducted, people start taking alcohol as early as 8 years. Their brains are affected. How are we going to expect development?
Professor Nazarius Tumwesije from Makerere University School of Public Health urged the Speaker and members of Parliament to reconsider the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill, emphasizing the importance of a nation free from alcohol-related harm.
People tend to forget that actually the alcohol and drug unit of Butabika Hospital is full. So when you reject this bill, so you're not offering an alternative.
Our call and our cry continues to be, let our legislators, let government put people before profits. Let us have health before money, then we'll have a developing country.
As Girl Guides, we all stand against the action that was taken yesterday of throwing away the bill.
Juliet Namukasa, chairperson of the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, pointed out that while alcohol contributes to Uganda's GDP, it also contributes to poverty, particularly in regions with high alcohol consumption, such as northern Uganda.
Children are being hired to work on farms, and in exchange for their labor, they are paid alcohol. Those are not stories. That is the truth in Karamoja. And we keep talking about the poverty in Karamoja. We keep pouring money in Karamoja. It will not change unless we regulate right.
According to advocates for alcohol control, without regulation, alcohol-related diseases and domestic violence are likely to increase.
Important people some of them have lost lives with conditions related to alcohol. And members of the press, you're here. Just look around in any government, any government department, the MDS. You walk there, there will be a person struggling or who is problematic or suffering full effects of alcohol, or he's struggling with alcohol.
If we can't realize the damage that the alcohol is doing to our people, then we are digging a grave. And because we are digging a grave for our children and our parents and our relatives, then it carries meaning for us to mourn early.
The rejection of the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill by Parliament comes at a time when Uganda has been ranked as the leading country in Africa and 6th worldwide in alcohol consumption. I'm Nafka Farida and Andrew Sebila.
And now an update from Chitezi indicates that four bodies have been retrieved today from the landfill. The bodies belong to a mother and her 3 children. The total number of deaths to date now stands at 34. Of these, 22 bodies have been identified and buried by relatives, while 2 remain unidentifiable. The number of unclaimed bodies has decreased to 6, that's from 7. Furthermore, the number of displaced persons received at the OPM Red Cross tents erected at the Chitezi Church of Uganda Primary School playgrounds has risen to 265. And State Minister for Internal Affairs David Muhoozi has assured members of the Parliamentary Committee on Defence that the validity of national identification cards has been extended for 1 year and that the upcoming mass registration exercise will be carried out effectively.
Internal Affairs and National Identification Registration Authority NIRA appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Defence to provide an update on the mass enrolment and registration exercise. State Minister General David Muhoozi informed the committee that the mass enrolment exercise is scheduled to begin in October this year. The renewal of national identity cards has been extended by 1 year.
ID to be extended so that people and service delivery can continue in the time between now and when we renew the IDs through the renewal exercise. We needed that so that people are not disrupted.
The chairperson of the Defence Committee, Wilson Kajwenje, noted that this is not the first time NIRA has set a deadline for the exercise, and he expressed hope that this time they will adhere to the deadline. Muhoozi informed the committee that he has drafted a statutory instrument requesting the extension of the validity of national identity cards.
Because the data gotten from NIRA shall form a basis for elections of 2025-2026. We have gotten information from the Minister of Internal Affairs that they have done extension of those IDs that will expire before enrollment. They have extended them by way of signing a statutory instrument that has been gazetted, so that cares and cures for any lacuna.
Some members of Parliament emphasized the need for NIRA to conduct the mass enrolment digitally, while others voiced their dissatisfaction with NIRA's habit of changing deadlines, which they said misleads their constituents.
You tell me you're going to start in July. I inform my people. You change, you go to August. I tell my people, now it is October. So it's as if we are not planning and we're not talking the truth.
Our IDs as travel documents. So if it expires, what happens me when I'm already when I want to close in another country?
Thinking that this exercise is most likely to commence in October. But down in my constituency chair, the awareness campaigns are not very clear. Our people do not really know.
Committee members pressed NIRA's Executive Director, Rosemary Chisembo, for specific dates and a roadmap for the exercise. Chisembo assured them that the exercise would commence as soon as the necessary equipment arrives in the country, which is expected by October 15th.
Different equipment is arriving at different times.
Yes,
the hardware is arriving on 31st August. The production of IDs is beginning on 30th September. The biometric kits, the first 1,000 are beginning. We hope to start delivering equipment beginning October 15th.
Meanwhile, the committee raised concerns about a petition Parliament received from 280 Ugandan Banyarwanda who allege that NIRA and the Passport Office are discriminating against them.
A lot of services For example, they cannot process driving permits now that the driving permits must tally with the IDs. They can't register companies, they can't open bank accounts, they can't register phone lines.
In response, Minister David Muhoozi clarified the definition of Ugandan citizenship, stating that the petition was generalized. He urged the complainants to file their cases individually, as citizenship matters are addressed on a case-by-case basis.
Citizenship, national identity, and attendant rights and obligations are very sensitive and emotional subjects. But we shouldn't be tempted to cede logic and objectivity to emotions. Where any legal gaps are identified, the necessary processes should be followed to cure the gaps.
I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Ogwetavinji at Parliament.
MTN ekutusako papapate tuwa musoka kati nukuru mukaganga satubulu mwezi guno gwa munana jangu kudams water kuraga backgrounds tunyumirwe ngokuyingira jinja kuba emitwalo 2 naye tiketi wogigulira ku MTN momo ogifuna ku mutwalo gumu ye ya VIP ya mitwalo 3 kati nonyiga *165*2 noti hash oba kozesa momo app wegulire tiketi yo ku MTN momo ku bei rahisi tosubwa abayimbi bonna ab'e Kampala n'ab'e Busoga papapate netegekeddwa Douglas Lwanga ne kutuusibwako MTN.
Together we're unstoppable.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
You're still watching Eastern Night. The Ministry of East African Community Affairs, in partnership with the NRM Secretariat, has sent a group of 700 Kiswahili learners to Tanzania for a study tour. The State Minister for East African Community Affairs, James Magode, says the 7-day tour offers a platform for learners to interact directly with Kiswahili-speaking communities, thereby elevate their appreciation for the language. The minister was representing the Line Minister and First Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Kadaga.
The resolution declaring Kiswahili as an official language in East Africa alongside English and French, appreciation of Kiswahili language in Uganda has remained wanting. This status has in a way cost Uganda opportunities at the East African Community Secretariat.
Quite a number of our citizens were not getting jobs in the region effectively because they were challenged with communication. So as a party, we started this program to help promote and uplift the Kiswahili culture and Kiswahili language within our population and in the region.
In a bid to bridge this gap, last year, the Ministry of East African Community Affairs, in partnership with the NRM Secretariat, started a Kiswahili teaching program.
We kick-started the pioneer class with 30 students. And I am delighted to inform the world that as of today, the class has grown to more than 700 learners who would converge at the NRM Secretariat headquarters everywhere in the day and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon to learn Kiswahili.
Ahead of their graduation in September, the learners, under the auspices of the Ministry of East African Community Affairs, in partnership with the NRM Secretariat, will for the next 7 days be residents in Tanzania and Zanzibar on a study tour.
This guided tour shall enable our learners to come face to face with the native Kiswahili speakers, thereby impacting on their knowledge and proficiency of the Kiswahili language.
To flag off the learners was the Minister of State, James Magode Ikuya, who implored the team to seize the opportunity to market Uganda to the world. UBC talked to some of the Tanzania residents in waiting, and these were their comments.
When I studied Kiswahili, to do more business in East African countries and other countries, and also it will help us to become one in Uganda, because Kiswahili is not a mother tongue of one person. It's a general language for everyone.
So Kiswahili is very important because it helps us to unite in the whole of Africa to do business so that we are not limited to only Uganda, so that we can do business in Kenya, Tanzania, and the whole of the world.
It is important to note that these learners also underwent a training from the National Leadership Institute in Changkwanzi, and this is why.
To refocus their mindset to match with the national development ideology of socio-economic transformation.
The curriculum at Changkwanzi is very good. It helps you to learn life, the relationship between man and nature, the stages of growth of man, the challenges man faces along the way, the social economy, all these things you learn there. And this is something any leader must go through. So it is not something to say NRM is good. No, they don't teach NRM in Changkwanzi. We are even asking ourselves, why are the new people not going to Changkwanzi to learn what is being taught there? Because it's a public institution.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
And the private sector foundation, Uganda PSFU, has appealed to government and other stakeholders to contribute towards strengthening road safety awareness networks. This call was made during the launch of Tofida Kukubo Road Safety Awareness Campaign and fundraising dinner held on Wednesday in Kampala.
Annually, the government spends approximately 315.72 billion on healthcare services related to road crashes. Many of these accidents are attributed to negligence, reckless driving, drunk driving, and the reluctance of some road users to adhere to safety guidelines. According to the principal of the Road Safety Network, Engineer Edward Chizito, less than 10% of drivers and riders possess the required driving documents.
The Parliamentary Committee on Health further reveals that the government spends approximately 315.72 billion annually on provision of healthcare services.
We need to understand the several factors that put our youth at risk of road crashes. And some of these are the non or improper use of the helmet, speeding, drink driving, the non-use of seat belts, distracted driving, for instance, use of phones while driving, aggressive and reckless driving.
The 2023 Road Safety Report by Uganda Police reveals that on average, 13 people die and 26 others are injured daily due to road crashes. More than 60% of these fatalities involve individuals under the age of 15 to 29.
The road safety situation in Uganda is alarming. The road traffic crashes are a leading cause of death among young people aged 15 to 29. Approximately 13 people are killed and 26 seriously injured in about 40 crashes a day.
Engineer Edward Chizito urged the youth to become strong advocates of the Tofira Kukubo Care to Reach Alive initiative. Sarah Kajingo, the Vice Chair of the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, emphasized the need to care for young people as they are the most affected by road crashes.
it is catastrophic to be losing people aged between 15 to 29 years and to have 13 people to die. So we are happy that you honored our invitation, and our call to you is that bannange temukolaki temufira kukubo. Care to do what? To reach alive.
The event was attended by the Japanese ambassador to Uganda, representatives from the Ministry of Works and Transport, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, road safety advocates, and other stakeholders. Charity Marion Imnat and Stephen Kalisha for UBC News.
Tofira kukubo.
Tofira kukubo.
Care to reach.
And agriculturalists want government to put in place a legal framework aimed at supporting farmer-managed seed systems. They argue that if farmers have control over seed, it promotes food diversity and ensures nutrition security.
Smallholder farmers have for a long time relied on farmer-managed seeds to produce food to meet the nutritional needs. However, farmers are slowly losing autonomy over their food systems, with formal seed penetration controlled by the private sector. According to the Executive Director for Southern and Eastern Africa Trade Information and Negotiations Institute Uganda, Jane Nalunga, there is need for government to come in and ensure that farmer-managed seed systems are supported.
We are talking about support regarding the legal frameworks, a legal framework which can provide for seed banks so that farmers can be able to keep their seeds somewhere and they can be able to replant them. We are talking about budget support towards that farm-managed system. We are talking about support, budget support to organic fertilizers.
The question, however, remains on whether farmer-managed seed systems can feed the increasing population.
Yes, farmer-managed seeds have produced food, and this one is manifested through statistics, because all over and globally, 70% of the food that is consumed by the public is produced by small-scale farmers, and these small-scale farmers are dealing with farmer-managed seeds and indigenous seeds.
The importance of farmer-managed seed systems is recognized in policy by highlighting their contribution to food security, but the legislation remains weak as national, regional and global frameworks focus on formal seed systems.
Meanwhile, today the Indian community in Uganda gathered at Indian High Commission on Chadando Road, Nakasero, to commemorate the 77th anniversary of India's independence. The event, marked by vibrant cultural displays and a strong sense of unity, was graced by the Indian High Commissioner, who expressed gratitude to President Yoweri Museveni for fostering a welcoming environment that encourages foreign investment. In a gesture of goodwill, the Indian Association of Uganda, in collaboration with Uganda Blood Bank and Plascon Uganda, has launched a nationwide blood donation drive aimed at saving lives across the country.
The Indian Association does, and we are very proud to be associated with them, and in future also we will continue this partnership, and whatever we can do, whatever new initiatives they come up with, we will try our best to be part of that.
And we are trying to contribute as a community to our fellow Ugandan brothers and sisters, that in this need we are there with you. And to just give you an idea, that the blood campaign which was started in 2012, see, up to 2012, starting from 2012 until 2023, the collection was to the tune of 24,000 units, so about 2,000 units a year averagely. But in the last year when we started till now, We have already done almost 7,000 units in 1 year.
You know, the way time runs, we just here, I think it's like a month ago, when he was launching another drive. Now we are back to launch another mega drive. And this is always timely because we are approaching the holiday period. And when the schools are on holiday, because school-going students are our biggest donors. So when they are on holiday, with times we get shortages of blood. So this activity is just in time, and we are very, very grateful that is happening every year. Thank you very much, Indian Association, for your partnership and collaboration. You've supported us, you've given us hampers, you've given us kits to give to our donors in order to appreciate.
Indian community has done very well economically, socially in this country, and I am happy to note that they are equally active in their social responsibility. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank the entire people of Uganda and the government of Uganda, led by His Excellency the President Museveni, that they have made this country a welcome place for people of foreign origins to come and thrive here. And under this policy that Indian community has benefited, and I am sure that they will continue to do even better work and strive to excel further.
Showing your fire! Has Nambole Stadium opened its doors once again? While you were moving in, you were the 12th player. When Uganda Cranes needed you the most. Through our famous wins against Tubakunda and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder. Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda Fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
And on business, Uganda Revenue Authority has partnered with Twambuke Women's Association to sensitize women about the importance of paying taxes and understanding business fundamentals. The initiative also seeks to educate women on how to create sustainable businesses that contribute to the broader economy by becoming new taxpayers. We apologize for that, but the private sector players in the importation of electric vehicles are urging government to reduce taxes for importation and also subsidize the price of electricity in order to boost the e-mobility sector. This appeal was made at the launch of 11 capacity seater electricity-powered commercial taxis in Bwaise, Kampala suburb by Freedom Electric Vehicle Limited.
Kampala capital city is embracing electric mobility. The launch of Freedom Commercial Electric Vehicles in Bwaise, a Kampala suburb, drew immense interest and enthusiasm. The environmentally friendly electric vehicles present a cost-effective alternative to conventional vehicles.
By reducing the number of vehicles using fuel in terms of petrol and diesel, to replace them with some which are using power in terms of electricity, will also curb down the level of environmental pollution by actually improving and increasing on the number.
As the world gravitates towards sustainable solutions, Freedom Electric Vehicles is lauded by the local leadership of Kawempe Division for standing at the forefront of revolutionizing Uganda's transportation sector.
Along the way, even individuals will start buying these vehicles. Now, when you look at the advantage, if the advantage being emphasized is to go buy, if the charging cost is going to be 40,000 and you are going to move about 250 kilometers or above that means to and fro you are charging twice at 80,000 and you will have covered 500 kilometers. To me, that would be advantageous even to the individual vehicle owner.
The company commits to support Uganda's e-mobility and energy transition agenda, which is currently the focal point in environmental conservation globally.
The car is so user-friendly, fully electric, no sound pollution, and no smoke in it, so it doesn't pollute the environment as well. So it's so affordable for the people to use.
Carlson Investment has been contracted to develop a transit terminal in Bwaise, where the fast charging station of the electric taxis will be set up before being rolled out to other terminals. Dennis Igoa and Juman Samba for UBC Business.
And now in sports, Hosini Uchi, the president of the African Boxing Union, arrived in Uganda this morning ahead of the African Boxing Union Convention scheduled to take place from the 19th till the 23rd of August. This convention will see participation from over 30 countries and will address key issues such as professional boxing, officiation and the development of professional players, among others.
Hosini Uchi was warmly welcomed by the president of Uganda Professional Boxing Commission and his team upon his arrival at Hotel Africana. The ABU president is visiting Uganda at the invitation of the Uganda Professional Boxing Commission, the body responsible for governing professional boxing in the country. During his stay, he will attend the African Boxing Union Convention and anticipates engaging in productive discussions throughout the week.
Oh, my expectation, as I said, I think just we came here to, first of all, we have a lot of points to within the ABU rules. We are launching a new title. You will see, you will heard about it in a few days. The professional commission, how they do some of them, they are not really update. We have to discuss also about the promoters in Africa and generally. Ring officials, as I said, very important ring officials. That we have a lot of issues.
It's an honor to host again the ABU convention. As we told you at the launch, this is not for the commission alone, but it's for Uganda at large. And this time, I call upon our ring officials, you must attend. MUST must attend to upgrade yourself. Because as the president said, this is if they do not appoint you for international fights, it's you losing. So it's you as a ring official to decide to upgrade yourself, to get more acquitted to the rules of the game.
The African Boxing Union Convention is set to take place from the 19th to the 23rd of August 2024 at Hotel Africana. The event has attracted participants from over 30 African countries and will focus on various issues including professional boxing officiation and development of professional players. The convention will culminate in a professional fight between the Ugandan boxer John Serunjoji and Egyptian Ahmed Bolshir on the 23rd of August 2024.
And Ethiopian football giants Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is in the country for their first leg preliminary game against Sports Club Villa this Saturday. The team of 23 players and officials arrived at 5:45 p.m. in the evening aboard Ethiopian Airlines. On arrival, the team expressed readiness for the Saturday game. The two sides will face off at Nambole Stadium.
And how is your team prepared for Saturday's game?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. At least to share something with you guys. Really, it was a long journey. As my team, really, it was hard because it was our first year in the Ethiopian Premier League, and thank God we managed to lift the trophy. It represents Ethiopia. As a team, I can say we are ready. We have been in the camp for a long time. We are ready to prepare for anything what I know the boys and the mood, and we are ready.
About your journey to Uganda and how your team is prepared for Saturday's encounter against Sports Club Villa.
Regarding our journey, it was a really good journey. Here we are ready to head to Kampala, and about our preparation to face Villa. So we have been preparing for about 2 weeks. That means that our competition, our league ended very lately. Even though it was late, I mean, it was not that much good preparation. It was only for 3 weeks, but we did our best, and then for Saturday's game, we are ready to fight and then to do our best.
News tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. Dorothy Namiyomba on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Banyeta ko Muhangi Donata, the chairperson wa group. I
am the chairperson of this group that got money. The group is called Kalsandala HIV/AIDS Craftswomen Group. UWEP gave us money in 2017 and they gave us 3.3 million Ugandan shillings. We used it in 1 year and got 23 million out of it. We do baskets and kitchen gardens, and we also have a saving group. We thank UWEP because this money helped us as women.